Welcome to No We're Actually Scared. Today we are talking about divination. This is fortune telling, telling the future, the tea leaves, all that fun stuff.
I'm gonna be the skeptic on this one.
You're not big on telling the future.
I like I said, write down the lottery numbers. Tell me who's gonna win the Super Bowl this year. We won't even make it that hard. Tell me the Super Bowl winner.
Well, we got to drink some tea.
Do you even remember watching the Hard Knocks thing and the guy got it wrong? The Jets are making
The Jets
Super
and the Niners?
Come on,
yeah.
dude.
Okay. So the definition is the practice of seeing knowledge of the future or the unknown. So these are practices people use to see their past, present, future, or just gather knowledge from the unknown paranormal world.
Do you think anybody's learning how to do math?
They're just trying to reach back to like Einstein or something and be like, hey, man, can you just help me out with this algebra?
Yeah, I need this physics homework help.
Just give me a little bit.
Staring at my tea leaves looking at that. The equation's going to pop up in them.
But I wanted to separate this from the Talking to the Dead because it's a little bit different. So I know we wanted to do a Talking to the Dead episode, which is going to be probably our next, further down the road, a little bit closer to Halloween. I wanted this to be kind of the opening. You're not actually talking to the dead, but you are using other dimensions and the paranormal to inform your future decisions and to predict the future.
Like a spirit guide?
Yeah, maybe like a spirit guide.
But
we'll get into some of the methods. Each method is accessing things a little bit differently.
Like that's a crazy thing though. Like you're asking a spirit to guide you,
right?
Like, well, should I get coffee today? Like you can't make that decision for yourself? Or is it deeper than that?
It's probably a little deeper.
You think?
And I know it has a lot to do with what's the word for manifesting? What did we use when we were randonauting around town the other day?
I know. Oh boy,
manifesting.
Yeah, kind of close.
What is it?
It's right there on the tip of our tongue. It's right there.
All right, we're gonna start off with the I Ching. Okay, so the I Ching was a book in China from 1000 to 750 BC. It was written around there a long time ago.
Long time.
So it means the book of change. Confucius was actually known to be a person who added to the book at one point in time.
That's pretty interesting. Well, he's all about like meditation.
Yep. And this is where the yin and the yang come from.
Really?
They were saying yang. I don't know what the right pronunciation is. Yin and yang.
They say Chinese and Mandarin is like the toughest language. It's all syllables and pronunciation.
It's very sing-songy.
Yes.
Like it's very, it's wild. But I'm going to go yang, yin and yang. So these are the two energies in the world that creates everything. So how I Ching works is it's essentially a guide with 64 hexagrams. Each hexagram representing something, such as thirst, hunger, yada, 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 yada. Okay? So in I Ching, this is kind of like a version of our own tarot card. They would use stalks. So like 50 stalks, and they would do transformations with the stalks, similar to how we would read tarot cards. They would place the stalks. You watch the videos on YouTube. It's wild.
It's wild.
It's fucking wild how these dudes, like, he's just got, like, sticks, and he's making symbols, and then all of a sudden he's like, all right, you got to take 4 at a time, and you got to move them over here, and this, and this. And then eventually it makes one symbol.
This is also where pickup sticks came from. That's good.
But, so they basically come up with one symbol, and then they come up with another symbol, and there's 8 different trigrams that could come in, and the trigrams combine to make the hexagram, and then that's how you get your reading. So like basically like how we have, I'm saying we like we're fucking witches, but basically how tarot cards exist here, this is kind of like an early version of tarot cards.
Okay.
And it's an ancient text.
But like through geometry?
Yeah, it's through like these like sticks, or they also say.
So when you do these sticks, though, are there like shapes being formed and everything like that? Or
yeah, there's like transformations. It's a very strange like art form, but like you're picking 4 at a time and you're leaving some, and there's tons of rules to how you're supposed to stack the sticks and pick up the sticks, and then they go through transformations until you have these 2 trigrams that form the hexagram.
Okay.
And then the hexagram is like what you would look for in the I Ching, which is the book.
All right.
The Book of Change. And this is how they would predict, whether there was going to be famine. It was actually used, like, for them to predict the weather.
Like a farmer's almanac?
Like a farmer's almanac, exactly. Like an ancient Chinese farmer's almanac.
It's kind of neat, man.
It's kind of wild. And then they use coins as well. So if they didn't use the stalks, they would flip coins and get multiples of numbers and use that to find the symbols.
Numerology?
And still went to the book.
That's kind of neat.
It's kind of strange. So the book has 3 basic principles. Everything is constantly changing. Mm-hmm. Change is orderly, and once you discover change, it is easy to understand. And 3, I wrote this wrong. Nothing is not unchangeable. I put nothing is unchangeable, but I know it was like nothing is like free from being changed.
Right.
Everything is going to change, which is kind of just like number 1. So maybe I'm a little off on that one. What are you going to do? I Ching. Anyway, very interesting. If you look it up, there's a ton of videos online. You can watch people doing I Ching readings, and they would act just like a tarot card reader would, a medium would.
It's something I got to check out.
Yeah.
So now you said it's just based on, like, they used to use it for what is it used today? Like, is it for...
I imagine it would be used for the similar things we would use tarot cards for.
Spiritual.
To figure out what's going to happen in the future. Like,
pretty interesting.
To get a reading. And ancient, we always get into the Native American things, but the East is filled with mysticism.
Lots of it.
And you have to have a feeling that some of it worked.
They've been
especially medicine.
They've been around a long time.
Yeah. They're still...
I mean, you look back, I mean, the things that the Chinese dynasty did. And
yeah, America as we know it's like 100 years old, couple hundred years old. And, you're thinking about 3,000.
3,000, 5,000 years. They built great walls.
Yeah. Insane medical advances using herbs and... Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. But anyways, that was...
Plus all the inventions, too, from there.
Oh, yeah.
Like gunpowder. I mean, you got a laundry list of things that came out of the East.
Yeah. But I thought it was very interesting. They basically... There is a tarot card before tarot cards. And it's an actual book with, like... And they used it to find things and predict the weather.
Well, you also think about it, too. Like, every culture is based somewhere around stars and reading the galaxy.
Yep.
And, astronomy. Something is always tied in with that.
You ever think there's always just a guy in, like, the town that wants to feel important? So he just kind of comes up with a way of being like, oh, yeah, this means that it's going to rain next Tuesday.
How are they going to prove that he was wrong?
What do you know?
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to rain.
I just wonder how many people take advantage.
We got modern day people that tell you it's going to rain next Tuesday. And it
doesn't rain, yeah. And they still have a job.
Yeah, never wrong, man. It's the greatest job security ever.
So one of the most simple forms of divination is basically you have a circle with yeses and nos. You hold a crystal above, you swing the crystal, you ask it questions, it would go to yes or no. This is probably the weakest one of the whole bunch.
Yeah, little early Ouija boardish.
Yeah, just crystals are always a little goofy to me. I never know about the crystals.
Yeah, those people. I don't get the rock people.
The rock
Shout out Camp Patterson.
Oh, yeah.
Carrying the rock in his pocket.
And what is, I know they always push one on tinfoil hat, too. They always push...
I know. I see the guy like
a rock and crystal person.
You ever see the guy at like it's like 4:00 in the morning? I know infomercials aren't really a thing anymore, but he's like the Gem King or something like that on Facebook. Like, follow the Gem King. It's like, I got my mercury crystal from Jim the Gem King. It's like so cheap. Like, who's buying that?
I think a lot of people actually buy the crystals. Hey, if you guys are selling crystals, I want you on the podcast, and I want you to defend your station.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
Come defend your rocks against my rock.
So that's the very simple one. Then just to get into tarot cards with us, we take a deck of 78 cards. A medium will do a reading for you. You tell the medium what you're looking for, like love or money or career.
These are the same conversations I have with my blackjack dealer. I'm usually looking for money, though, and 21.
So they're separated into 2 different groups. There's 22 of the major arcana, and there's 56 of the minor arcana. So the 22 majors are major life themes like death,
birth, marriage,
all the major life themes, and the minor are the ones that will add on to it. So there's different. I'm not sure of all of them. I'm not going to get into all of it. But when they actually do tarot readings, there's different formations for the cards based on which question you're asking.
It's like John Madden calling
whether
plays.
It's for money or whether it's for this. Then you got the T formation, the wing, the double wing T.
Yeah, we're going to have the H-back pull around here. We're going to fake it to him. We're going to have the guard come pulling around at this point. Hit the A-gap. Bam!
But just to get into some of the fun facts I just learned about tarot cards, researching this and just watching readings, we tried to find a good story of like a reading gone wrong, and you can't find one.
The only one that I could think of, and this is not, I can't prove it's fact or fake, but Lilydale. You ever hear of Lilydale?
Lilydale, yep. A whole town of mediums over here in upstate New York.
Yes. It's a spiritual town. I don't think it's only mediums, but there's seers and stone people and very spiritual.
Frequently hold readings, hold mass in the park.
Yes.
Not a denominational religious mass, but a spiritual mass.
Right. And we had a family friend that went. And the story goes that they had a reading, or this lady had a reading, I'm going to say.
This is like a story your mom heard from somebody.
That it was a lady had a reading. The medium wrote down the message on a piece of paper, handed it to her, and said, open it when you get home. And I guess the lady never made it home and got into a car accident on her way home and passed.
That's a goosebump one.
And then they found the note, and
the note said
you won't make
exactly what was going to happen.
Right. Oh. So, like I said, I don't know how true it is. It kind of builds
urban legend territory.
Right. It kind of builds the woo around Lilydale a little bit, but I heard it's a real spiritual place to go and get on that playing field.
It's interesting that a bunch of It's interesting that a bunch of witches got together and bought houses. I'm calling them witches. That's offensive. They're not witches.
They're not witches. They're seers and mediums. And,
all types of spiritual people.
But I heard some cool. Like they got they got the rock or the stump.
Yeah, I heard it's a cool town. I haven't been there yet. I plan on doing a reading over there. I kind of want to see what it's all about. Have you ever done a reading?
No.
Never?
No. I thought about calling Miss Cleo a couple times, but that's for you old people if you don't know who Miss Cleo. I'm Miss Cleo. That was a terrible impersonation of Miss Cleo, by the way.
But she was on your infomercial every day trying to get you to call.
And, for 99 cents a minute.
Yep. Give you a reading.
Get a reading over the phone.
What a business.
It was crazy. She was on forever, man.
What a business model.
But no, I never did. My wife did it.
What'd she say?
Iffy about it.
Yeah.
Iffy about
it. You think it was more vague?
Like I said,
so vague that it didn't.
I think it was vague.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's her reading. I don't question her on what questions she had. You know what I mean? Right. I didn't go into it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there, but seemed kind of like a little bit of a money grab.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. And like I said, I fall under the skeptic with it a little bit. Like I said, I believe in the paranormal.
Right.
But I'm also.
But whenever there's a middleman, it's always a little.
It's like church to me.
Yeah.
Like how they tell me that Jesus is everywhere, but I got to go every Sunday to give money to the parish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only reason you want me here is
for the donation.
For the donation.
For my tithe.
And it seems like that's a little
similar.
Too money grabbish. And like I said, like if you're going for a reading, like if it's $25, but now people are so popular.
Yeah, $350,
$200. I mean, you're
crazy.
I think it's a little bit of a BS.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a tough sale for me.
It's tough. I definitely want to do it though. I'm gonna go to Lilydale. I'm gonna get it done. I'd like to hear what they have to say. I mean, I know most of the stories I hear from Lilydale are people contacting like old loved ones. And whenever I hear that, I'm always kind of a little. Yeah.
It's the South Park. I hear an S from this side.
It's
Steve.
What was his name? John Edwards.
John Edwards.
Yeah.
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 South Park. Watch that episode.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Oh, man, I got an uncle named Steve.
But going back to the tarot card deck, every time in movies you always see the devil and death as being like the worst things in the world.
Can I say one more thing, though, while I'm thinking about it?
Go ahead.
Another thing is, too, like how you said, it's a lot of people contacting their loved ones. I think it's like preying on weakness. Like people are gullible at that time. They're seeking comfort.
Right.
You know, you want to have closure. You want to have, you know, a feeling like, oh, they're okay on the other side.
Right.
And I think that, like, speaking to them or getting a message from them seems a little bit of
a stretch.
Like a money grab, like kind of preying on people a little bit.
It's... Yeah.
That's what I... That's
the
my
talking
take.
to loved ones is tough. I'm not sure.
That's my take on it.
That's what I want. Like I'm completely in the dark. I haven't done a reading. I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments about readings you've had.
And I think about Harry Houdini.
What about Harry Houdini?
Harry Houdini told his wife that he gave her a secret message that go see all these seance peoples and card readers.
What?
Yes. After he died, that she went around and was like, he told me a message. Tell me the message that he has. And nobody could do it.
Oh, I see. It's like a test.
Yep.
Like he was like, I don't believe in any of that.
Exactly.
Here's what I said.
Yeah,
go find somebody that can figure it out.
Kind of a buster.
And if I don't say that, that's not me.
Exactly.
Type of thing. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So a little skeptic. I'm skeptical.
Back to the cards. The death card is actually more of an awakening than a foretelling death. It's more of like a, hey, wake up.
Okay.
And the devil card usually refers to addictive behaviors that you can stop. So it's kind of like the temptation thing more than it is like actual like Satan.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would think like that would be like evil. Like, oh, fuck, dude, I just pulled the devil card.
Yeah, it's kind of like how the devil tempted Jesus in the desert.
Okay,
it's kind of saying
yeah.
you can stop your addictive behaviors.
Right.
You can. So this is kind of like the devil saying like you're addicted to something.
Right.
Change it or not. Like that's kind of like what the reading would be with.
Right.
It's interesting. The scariest tarot card, the Tower. Tall structure, usually being seen by struck by lightning. Was that English? Usually seen being struck by lightning with flames and people falling from it. So this usually means that your life's about to get turned upside down. Something bad's you're going to break up with somebody, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose your money, you're going to do, like, this usually means that upheaval is on the horizon.
Coming.
Yeah.
Impending doom.
That's the card you don't want. Or maybe you do want to shake shit up. It's about chaos and destruction. So that's what the card...
Like Corazon.
Is interpreted as usually major life events.
The demon Corazon. Chaos and despair.
So yeah, that's the most emotionally...
See, now, is this like magic? Like, do you believe in that?
Do I believe in magic?
Yeah.
Like wizardry and witchcraft?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in a deep hole on witch talk right now, dude.
Well, that's what I'm... Well,
it's getting wild.
Well, witch talk. Witches and magic go hand in hand.
It's interesting because... Oh, where do I even start with
this?
this?
I mean, like a David Copperfield magician. Like, that's all we know.
But I think they're known as, like...
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hands.
Yeah.
I think they're known as that.
But do you believe in, like, the potions and the... It's curses.
It's so being in this deep hole on witch talk, dude, it keeps coming up.
That's TikTok
for witches.
With witches, yeah.
But I get them all, and there's some scary ones, man. Like they're like talking about making compacts with the demon. They're crushing up herbs and lighting things, and I'm like, dude, that's pretty fucking intense, dude. You went in deep. They're like, I know like the 14 demons' names, and I found the one that I want to like talk to, and I'm gonna make a contract with him by burning this and doing things. And, like, I don't know if I want to do any contracts with demons, but...
I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, fuck it, right?
I mean, what are they going to do? Pay my debt later? I mean,
I look at Dave Grohl.
I mean, what do you get out of it? Do you know, what are they getting?
It depends on which demon you're making a contract with, according to the witches.
Yeah, that's magic, dude.
Yeah. I get better information from Witch Talk than I do Google. I think they're burying witches down in Google.
Oh yeah, they probably ran the witch hunt.
I'm surprised they're not pushing them up the way Google's such an evil company.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. But anyways, what was I talking about?
Witches. Witch Talk.
Demons.
Yeah, making contracts with demons.
All right, where was I going with that?
Tower.
I definitely had a line on here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you were saying, do I believe in magic and witches or whatever? So, my in my head, this is just like off top of head without thinking about it, without using rationality. All the movies I watched and everything I know, I've always known witches to be in covenant with the devil.
Yeah.
So they're subservient to the devil. They've pledged themselves to him. Like witches and Satanism go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I don't think the witches on TikTok look like Satanists.
They're like your knockoff witches.
I feel like they're usually from Arkansas with a thick Southern accent. I don't think they've pledged themselves to Satan, but I think they're interested in the same shit I'm interested, like the paranormal and just like, it's an interesting aesthetic and it's an interesting thing to look into the history of all this and
buying their
yeah. And I think you have this huge persecution of, well, I don't even want to say witches because usually the people that were persecuted didn't identify as witches. They were just burned for being accused of being witches.
They didn't float.
But I think this whole, that whole history is so interesting to people, too, that people gravitate towards that persona.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, do people practice witchcraft? Yes, 100%.
I mean, we just talked about Aleister Crowley not too long ago.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he was into some crazy magic stuff.
That was all magic and everything.
So, you know what's funny, though?
What's that?
You don't really see, wizards.
Harry Potter? He's mainstream.
I'm just saying, I'm on Witch Talk, dude. There's no wizard talk. There's no, dude in, a purple robe with, the moon hat, and he's just, talking about, okay, I'm talking to Gorlock, the Destroyer today. It's always a female thing.
Yeah. It's not too many dudes are in the potions, man.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm not going to buy my mercury rocks or moon rocks from fucking a store.
I bet you there's a lot of dudes that are into crystals and rocks.
You think?
I think so.
I don't know any.
Either do I.
But I don't know any dudes that are into moon rocks and crystals and healing crystals.
But you can scare yourself on there, man. Witch Talk's nothing to.
You know who's a witch?
Who's a witch?
Or a warlock, you would call him?
Who's that?
You remember the band Godsmack?
I'm not the one who's so far away.
Yes. That guy.
He's a warlock?
He's a warlock, dude.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can guys be Wiccan? Because that's the whole religion.
That's a religion.
So he can be Wiccan?
He is a Wiccan. Well, yeah, I'm calling him a warlock or a witch or I don't know. Yeah, he's Wiccan. He's Wiccan.
So what do you think he does at home? Writes bad music and talks about it?
He probably buys
demon contracts.
He probably buys crystals. I mean, I guess. I mean, yeah, but he's Wiccan. He's a witch or
he's
warlock.
Not doing a very good job because I haven't heard from them in a while.
Well, I mean, I think that kind of
faded away a little
I'm
bit.
sure. You know what? You're saying that you haven't seen him.
I know. Godsmack's still huge.
I'm
just talking shit.
Do you know who was in town today?
Who?
Creed, and it was sold out. So when was the last time you heard Creed?
Every Thanksgiving, we watch the Creed halftime show with Cirque du Soleil at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
The best thing. You ever see the Pat?
And it is the most 90s.
Oh, yeah. Early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Perfect example of just completely off the walls. Yeah. What the fuck am I watching? This is awesome.
Do you listen to Pat McAfee at all?
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Well, on Halloween, they all dress up.
Yeah.
One of his sound guys or producers on that show dressed up as Scott Stapp as the Super Bowl halftime, and it was phenomenal, dude. After this, we're gonna watch that clip. It was, dude. I was on the floor pissing my pants.
I know we're talking about divination, but if you guys want to look up Creed halftime show Dallas,
it was very artistic. The guy on the rope. Swinging.
It's just tiptoeing the line of the coolest thing I've ever seen and what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I would go back to that Super Bowl or Thanksgiving halftime show.
Give me that. Who they got? Meek Mill or fucking
I don't know.
Gucci something? I don't know. But whatever they're playing at the Super Bowl halftime show this year has got nothing on Scott's staff singing the Thanksgiving halftime show.
They should bring Creed out for that.
That would make the Super Bowl.
Just redo that halftime show.
Oh, yeah. Just a repeat. He's like 70. With arms wide open.
I like it. Let's go. But
tarot cards and divination. Tea leaves. So another form of divination is you get some green tea, you throw in a cup, you ask your questions, you drink the tea, you leave the residue at the bottom of the cup, dump it on a towel, swirl it around a few times, and then you stare at the leaves.
Stare at it?
Nope. Find symbolism that would answer your question.
Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me with this. Tea leaf?
Yeah.
Tea
and they have
readings?
mediums to do this for you. So you would drink the tea and you would hand them the cup to do it, or you train yourself to do it.
Oh, my God. See, now I want to do, like, one of these readings.
I know.
But I think, you know what the bad thing is?
I'm just imagining, like, the 20 minutes of sitting across from the medium drinking the tea.
There'd be no way.
I'm like...
A little hot. A little hot. A little hot. Can I get an ice cube? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there'd be... But just think of that awkwardness of them, like, sitting there staring at me as I'm, like, wheezing with this hot tea. Excuse me, but it would be odd. The vibes that they would probably be getting off of me would be like, they would steal my money. They would kick me out. I wouldn't even finish my tea. It would be bad.
They'd look in your tea, be like,
"Oh, this guy's." I'm gonna tell him the most fucked up thing ever. Like tea leaf readings. That's something.
But speaking of tea leaves goes all the way back to China in the Ming Dynasty, 1386. They used cups called Gaian cups, but that's where tea leaf reading originated. So we're talking about more ancient Eastern secrets.
Yeah. Like I said, like I think you got to be on a completely different plane to be doing this.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like in tune with your spirituality. I get because, like I said, I there's no way I could sit there and do this without like smirking at them or like it would be bad. It would. I
just can't imagine you teaching yourself to do it either.
There's no possible way. What am I looking at?
Johnny Paranoia over here has just got boxes of fucking green tea, and he's setting up to learn.
Lipton's.
He's like, I got a big weekend ahead of me.
Yeah, I got some Lipton. I'm ready to go. I got my gun cup over here. I'm gonna do some tea leaf reading. Yeah, that'd be something. Like I said, I don't know who's into it. I've never met a person that is.
Tea leaf reading?
I can't think of one person.
It's big on witch talk.
Gotta get off witch talk, dude. I think you're under a spell. Dude.
I'm in deep, dude. And I swear it's like you can't get out of like the whole of it.
I think you're.
All I get is witches and Henry Goggins. It's just like I read my teas today, and then it's just like, get up, motherfucker!
Yeah. What's his tea reading like? Get up, bitch! Like,
you're not gonna run today?
Yeah, you got to do 17 miles. He's fantastic, dude.
He's awesome.
He's a character.
I love Henry Goggins. All right, we're gonna go deep now. This is the big one. This is the one that maybe baseline people are just in the show haven't heard about. This is called scrying.
Ooh, I heard about scrying.
Scrying. This is an ancient divination.
See, now this I could get behind.
Yes.
Looking into a mirror.
Actually, they look into a lot of things. So the crystals are used for this. The crystal ball's used for this.
All right.
The mirrors are used for this. Mirror gazing. It's a whole thing. I'm going to run you through the instructions.
Nice. Let's get a mirror.
We probably shouldn't do this.
Let's get a mirror.
Oh, I lost this. I had... Okay. Well, I'm going to walk you through the instructions I got from tragicbeautiful.com.
All right.
They're a reliable source, right? Tragic Beautiful?
Hell yeah.
All right. Set the scene. Choose a quiet, dimly lit space for your scrying session, and focus on creating a calm and sacred atmosphere. Cleanse and consecrate. Purify your scrying tool. You may use traditional cleansing methods,
like Windex?
Such as using a cleansing wand or passing it through a soak of cleansing herbs.
No Windex.
So here's the thing.
Mr. Clean Work?
Don't do this, guys, because this is like dangerous. You're gonna open up fucking portals to bad shit that I really do believe in, even though we're joking here.
All of a sudden, you see Mr. Clean in the mirror,
standing behind you.
Oh God, his head's so shiny.
Okay, we're joking. It's serious.
It's serious.
It really is. Don't do this. As I read you the instructions to do this. Okay. Ground yourself. So this is the biggest thing. You shouldn't be doing this if you're a novice. You shouldn't be tempting the other side if you're a novice at any of this. You need to ground yourself and be in a balanced and focused state of mind. Invoke protections. You should be calling for your guardian angel to guard you, people around you to guard you. You want a protective herbal blend to drink before you start.
The Second Amendment.
All these kinds of things. Second Amendment is no help.
Not working here.
So you really want to be grounded in reality because, I'll get to the next step. And then
what are we doing? Are we scrying or are we putting in an electrical panel talking about grounding?
Concentrate on intent. So clearly state the purpose or question for your scrying session. Focus on the energy and the desired outcome. So I had a hard time talking right there. The big thing is you're blanking your mind. So you have to be able to remain grounded in reality because you're kind of letting your mind wander.
It's already blank, bud.
So you need to be blank. This step varies slightly depending on your tool.
You know what? Hold on real quick. I just want to apologize to the witches out there. I am not making fun out of you, and I don't need a curse on me.
We really do believe in all this shit. It's funny. We have to we laugh.
I am poking fun. That's all I'm doing. I don't need a curse.
No curses, please. Hold the crystal ball in the center palm of your hands. If it's too large, place it in front of a stand and hold it with both palms. Make and hold the gaze with the crystal ball. For mirror scrying, or scrying with a bowl, you fix your gaze on a reflective surface.
Water. Yeah, put water in there.
And allow your mind, you can do it in water. You can do it even in flames. People will stare at flames and scry as well. This is all creepy.
That's all Harry Potter, dude.
It's all like meditative staring, really.
That's Harry Potter. Like, they did everything. They did the fire.
Yeah.
You remember, like, I know I'm going into a weird place right now, but Sirius, they used to talk to him through the fireplace.
Yep.
They used to have, like, the fountain that he used to look and see his parents standing behind him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to think of something else they had the teacher that was the crystal ball.
Yep. A lot of Harry Potter.
Yeah, there was a lot in Harry Potter.
Huh.
A lot.
It's kind of crazy. It's tough for a person with, like, an inner monologue. I feel like I, like, talk so much to myself in my own head, and I'm, like, having conversations in my head that you need to be able to meditate and go blank, and I'm not a good meditator.
No.
So I'm probably not capable of scrying, and I wouldn't try it because my intrusive thoughts, I would fuck something up.
Yeah, I would just dug my head into the water, like I'm bobbing for apples, like after staring into it for about 40 seconds.
But that is the reason you want things to be focused, and you want it to be known what you're looking for, because while you're scrying, you're trying to gather information.
We should go and get a session of scrying done. Like us two, like just cackling like we were in second grade and getting kicked out of the classroom. We would be thrown out so fast, dude.
I don't think I'm capable of meditating that deep.
No.
And you're not supposed to force thoughts. You're actually just supposed to allow images to appear in your mind. Like, you're not supposed to force thoughts. You're just supposed to let it all happen.
Right.
Trust your intuition based on what you're seeing. Record the insights. And then always, always, most importantly, close your session when you're done. Thank the energies. Be respectful of the entities you're contacting. And I've heard you have to be careful not to make contracts with these entities because they're trying to...
Do they talk to you?
Sell you a used Toyota.
Can you talk through scrying? Or are you just seeing...
It's tough, but they want you to be focused on your question, and you want it made clear to the entities you're scrying with on the other side that this is what you want, this is what you want to know about, you want information, and you're not there to pierce the veil, open the other side, make a contract with whatever entities are on the other side.
Yeah.
And then you take a couple deep breaths, and you just realign yourself back to reality. So those are the steps to scrying. Like I said, I can't meditate. I can't shut my mind off. I think that would be the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's impossible for me.
I mean, there's a lot of dead-eyed kids nowadays that could probably have no problem staring at a mirror for a little while. They might make it through, but
I would get too creeped out, man. Like I think of what is the mirror one?
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. Yeah. Like I don't like doing no. Mirrors freak me out, man.
Mirrors are insane.
Mirrors freak me out.
Right.
Like I remember when we did the Shining episode.
Yep.
And it's like mirror theory, like they kind of use that as like a vector or a portal.
Yep.
That they could come through.
And it's usually done with obsidian. So they actually they're like black mirrors.
Yeah.
That's where the title Black Mirror comes from. Well, Black Mirror comes from your cell phone or whatever, but they're saying people are now scrying into their cell phones. It's a reflective black surface.
Well, it's weird. Like if you ever like broke down like the internet, like it's like a lot of weird words that they use in here. Like if you think about it, like I don't forgot who I was listening to, and they were talking about like all the why do they call it? Like I said, there's like 5 or 6 words that are like real weird with our cell phones and nowadays where it's like kind of esoteric a little bit.
Yeah. Like there's a little bit of mysticism.
I got to think
in
about
this
them.
Small device in our pocket.
I got to think about them now.
But yeah, they were known as black mirrors, and people were doing it in Victorian times. They would, and I've seen people on TikTok use black spray paint to scry. So they'll open the mirror and spray paint the middle black, and you can still have reflection and still see.
Empty,
and it's like a black mirror. It's insane, and I think like this is like the whole thing of you're not supposed to be contacting like loved ones or the dead. You're just trying to get information. So you're trying to ask ghosts a question,
right?
And it's been said that like the imagery in crystal balls and in mirrors, you don't get to choose whether it's your present, past, or future usually. So sometimes you'll be asking a question and they'll show a past life.
Really?
So not even like your past, but like your bloodline's past.
Right.
You could see your great-great-grandfather. You could see a life where you were alive, another one of your lives, which is a big thing in Lilydale too. I know past lives.
Yeah, that's...
Do you believe in the past life thing?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you're in on that one.
Yeah, I do.
You're out on the tea leaves.
Because, like I said, I'm out on the tea leaves. You're not going to catch me doing the tea leaves. But, like, the past life thing, like I said, explain deja vu.
Yeah?
Do you know, like, I lived this before?
But wouldn't that be, like, that's not really like a past life, though. That's like an interdimensional life. Because you're living the same time again, right? A past life would be like I'm in the medieval time.
Yeah.
I'm jousting.
Well, like I said, I explain deja vu, though. I mean, yeah, you've seen this before or you felt this feeling before.
Yeah.
But is it because you lived it in the 1400s or...
Maybe.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it does... Your deja vus don't have to be, like...
The exact situation.
Oh, I'm here at this red light.
It's like that feeling.
Yeah, that feeling that you get. Like,
it's
man,
like
I've seen this. Or I've done this.
Yeah.
And I've never done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you get that out of nowhere. I do. Like, I remember watching a Ripley's Believe It or Not episode, and I remember a kid, like, he was like a World War II fighter pilot. And he, like, pointed out where he went down. Like, he was always, like, fascinated with planes. And
really?
Yeah, and then he ended up, like, pointing out where he got shot down. And
it was
died.
Correct.
And where he died.
That's
and he was,
insane.
like, connected to this fighter pilot. Yeah, he would have, like, dreams of it and visions of him flying the plane and getting shot at. And it was a nuts story.
Past life stuff is kind of insane.
It was
But I know most people that go to Lilydale that I hear stories of, they usually do talk about past lives and what you were in another life.
Right. Yeah, like
Probably because it's hard to call people out on that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
if we're
you're
playing the scam angle.
Yeah, you're going that route.
If we're playing the scam angle.
I mean, it proved me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, I'm telling you something that happened 300 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't around.
Right, exactly.
What am I going to say?
Yeah.
No, you're bullshitting me? Like,
right, yeah, what am I going to... You were a knight.
Yeah. Like I said, I do believe in that.
Yeah, to an extent, I do too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm open to all of it. I'm open to everything. I never count anything out anymore.
The tea leaf one.
Tea leaf is a little rough.
Count that one out.
It's interesting, but it's also like, are you just seeing like what you want to see? But also, is that part of intuition? Is that part of intuition though? Is that part of you like, I'm seeing what I want to see, but also like I'm allowing myself to a different thought process?
Because it's whatever you have on your brain that time. It's whatever is in your thought. Like, I could be sitting, like I said, I could sit in my backyard and stare at clouds.
But is that manifesting though? What it's in your thought, and then you can confirm it through something and give yourself self-confidence or something through reading tea leaves?
Like I said, I'm looking at it through a lens of where I'm not getting into that mindset.
Yeah.
Of being clear and pure and I'm just setting a blank. I'm resetting my mind.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
I know. I don't know how people do it.
Like where I'm going to sit there and I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes.
And that's what I wonder about that school where they allow people that, what's that travel called? Like outside of your body? Like Insidious?
I want to say remote viewing, but it's not.
Yeah. Something similar to that where you're able to leave your body and like go around and visit things. But there's a whole school for this, but I think it requires intense meditation and like.
Oh yeah. Well, just think of like Stranger Things.
Right.
Where she has to meditate into that state.
Yeah. And this takes like practice and.
Oh yeah, over and over again. Like I said, it could be, tea leaves could be a thing, but I'm not on that spiritual level.
Yeah, I couldn't get there.
Where I can't blank my mind.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to concentrate on this.
Right.
I'm going to open myself up to get to that level.
Yeah, it's
like
too
I
hard.
said, to me, it's just, you're drinking tea. Like,
yeah, good luck.
Good luck. You're looking at a mess underneath it. It's no different than me staring up at the clouds and trying to depict things and images in the clouds.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to get through me.
All right, here's a weird one that I do this every day. So we're talking about grounding in reality.
Okay.
This is something I do every day.
Bang your head against the wall.
My bare feet.
No, that's just
touch the grass every single day.
Okay.
And reconnect with the earth every single day. No socks, no shoes. Your bare feet are they're meant to touch ground and grass every day.
Right.
To reconnect to reality. Do you believe in that?
I do, because like I said, if you look at like the innocence of a child and an adult, and you think of an adult that you just get caught up in the rat race and you get caught up in just your daily routine of going to work, coming home, making dinner, and you look at kids who are outside, kind of naive, innocent, they're in contact with nature a lot more than what we are.
Yep.
And like I just said, I look at it as like when I was a kid, I was rolling around in the dirt, I was outside, and you had this, openness to the world.
Right.
And it was like, oh man, look at everything around me. Nature, everything would seem more pure and everything.
Right.
And now as I get older, it's more diabolical and
yeah.
Just look at everybody and it's like, ooh.
There's something about the grass.
Yeah, I believe in grounding with nature. Like I said, I think there's ley lines and all that shit too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's energy fields, dude. I mean, it's all around us.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, there's no argument there.
Energy fields are all around you. Every time, every day of the week, dude.
That's kind of crazy to think about.
So, yeah, I do believe in grounding yourself. And like I said, you look at other people, too, who lose, like, people in power or whatever like that they have no, they're not grounded with the common man anymore either. You know, you look at that different kind of person that are rich or very wealthy.
Right, you're disconnected from society.
Exactly.
You're disconnected from
the
day-to-day.
But I think everybody does in their own form eventually, like disconnect. And is it a good thing to get reconnected? Probably.
But now you're looking at connecting as in staying in reality versus the unknown. So you want to make sure that you have a solid footing in reality when you're reaching out to whatever it is to get information. It's kind of a really creepy thing when you think about it, when you're talking to like the other side, because you don't know if they're dead, you don't know if it's just energies, you don't know if it's entities, you don't know if it's demons, you don't know if it's
it's your intention. It's kind of like what your intention is. Like I think,
but does your intention matter if it's a demon?
Well, no.
Like, I mean, we don't know what it is.
Yeah,
is the thing, and that's why I think Christianity, they're very against divination in all forms.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to try to predict the future. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to try to get information you don't know. And that's Adam and Eve. That's the snake, like knowledge.
Yep.
And that's where, Satan, Lucifer comes in and...
Well, it's temptation, really.
Temptation for knowledge. Well, temptation to contact the other side as
right,
well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're being curious, but curiosity killed the cat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, but is the unknown supposed to be unknown? Probably. And let it sit at that, you know?
And there's some Christians that are hardcore on this, like this is devil stuff and you're going to hell if you try to contact whatever. And we're not hardcore Christians.
No.
At all.
But it does seem like, but like they contact, I mean, what is praying?
Right.
I mean, isn't that a form of meditation? And
right.
Like, I mean, I'm reaching to God.
Yeah. There's stories of scrying too, people looking in mirrors and then having their reflection look back at them. So like you start to see it. I don't know if your mind just starts playing tricks if you just stare at a mirror long enough.
Yeah, where the eyes move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are a little creepy.
Mirrors are insane.
Those are a little creepy.
Yeah, mirrors are scary.
But how you said, where you reach to the other side, and like you're reaching for a form of meditation, like you're reaching for answers. Yeah. Like, what is the difference between religion, like a religious Christian, and
praying for advice versus
witch.
Looking in the mirror and asking for advice?
What is the difference?
Yeah. And what if it truly is just meditating and finding it yourself in your own head?
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's less fun than the supernatural answer, where
it seems like it. But isn't religion very supernatural?
You would think.
Like isn't it? Like you got Jesus and
you got the jinns.
Yeah, you got jinns in the Muslim religion. You have, oh my God, I forgot what in the Hebrew, I forgot what it was.
Their demon? Dybbuk? The Dybbuk box?
Yeah, Dybbuk, right?
Yeah.
Dybbuk. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Everybody has a form of good and evil. I mean, everything. To comic books, dude, is good and evil. I mean, everything is good and evil. Are you willing to go through the veil and do it?
It's just crazy. You really don't have an answer for what you're talking to. If you're talking to anything, or if you're just using your own intuition,
right? Or you could be talking to yourself too.
But they do say the obsidian and the black mirror is like what prevents the demons from coming through. So it's kind of like a
shield,
a shield from bringing them through.
Yeah,
which is interesting. We're gonna get into the biggest one right now, guys. So this is the biggest form of divination. This one goes all the way back to Mesopotamia.
Whoa,
we're talking BC.
There we go, Babylon. Let's go.
Necromancy. So now necromancy in movies and things is about Lazarus, is about bringing the dead back to life. Necromancy per Mesopotamia and in other works of literature is not zombie magic, even though that's what it's called. It's not physical. It's calling spirits to come and talk to you and give you information. So working with the spirits of the dead. In Mesopotamia, they called them diviners. So this is where divination comes from.
Okay.
You're inviting death energy, which is very dangerous. So you always need to be grounded in the living world, just as in scrying. The dead will always try to create contracts with you, which you need to avoid at all costs. You need to have very clear intentions. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
All going with scrying. But these are your basic principles if you're ever going to try and do something as crazy as try to contact the dead. You need to be grounded in the world, and you need to have your intentions set. I want to know if I should take the job. I want to know if I should leave this person. I want to know if I should do this.
Right.
Yes. So you want to have your intentions very solidified when you're talking to the dead. So yeah, the physical thing, necromancy, probably not real. That was more of a movie thing. That was more of a whatever. But historically, it is based in accessing the knowledge of the dead. Here's an interesting one. So I've been talking about how the Christians will believe this is bad. Pope Gregory V actually said it was okay for the living to speak to the dead when discussing and pressed by other theologians. So the Pope said it was okay at one point.
At one point.
The Pope said it was okay to talk to the dead.
Until they decided that you needed a priest to talk to the dead. And pay money.
So basically the Pope was working, and all the theology guys, they were coming to the Pope and they were saying, like, why is it wrong to talk to the dead? Like, why is it wrong? And the Pope eventually agreed. They pushed him and he took it. And this is where you get into the very interesting, the Library of the Dead, the Akashic Records.
All right.
So the Akashic Records, we have the ability within ourselves to research our entire bloodline, future, present, past, and former lives. And it's all in a library in the ether that we're able to access through meditation and necromancy.
Really?
This is a real... This is what Mesopotamia thought. The Babylonians thought.
Yeah, that's a little Kabbalistic. That bloodlines run deep in that.
Yep.
I mean, if you're a conspiracy theorist at all, like, you know, bloodline talk is pretty big in the conspiracy theory world. Mm-hmm. Like,
but just think about it. There's a library of the dead out there that you're able to access in your mind.
They're
through
able,
meditation.
But they're able to trace back.
Well, yeah, you're talking about physical.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this is in the ether. Like the knowledge of the dead, the library of the dead.
Well, like I'm saying, though, like you're saying they're able to trace back. There's no record in 2000 BC.
Right.
Of what your bloodline, you know what I mean? Like you could go through DNA testing and all that.
Right.
But these secret societies do this.
Yeah.
Like they talk to the, like, I mean.
I wonder if they have access to the Akashic Records.
Like I said, Aleister Crowley, I just threw a pen across the room. Aleister Crowley used to talk to the dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to summon spirits.
That's a form of necromancy.
100%.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. I think it's pretty cool that I know we're going to do a talk to the actual dead episode, but this is more of a divination is all about accessing knowledge. So, predicting the future, seeing the present, seeing the past, seeing former lives, using the knowledge of the dead for your life, essentially.
It's crazy. Like I said, like you're getting into, you could go weird with this.
Yes.
Like you could go very weird with it, like, because that's all the basis of.
Yeah. And we named about 6 methods that you guys can look in. I'm sure this goes way deeper than what we went, but
that's like everything is like getting knowledge is power.
Yeah. And now you're asking the dead to
100%
give you knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of information about scrying, and it's a big thing in witch talk.
Yeah, witch talk, man. That's like I said. If you're big into crystals, let me know. Hit me up on.
Yeah, we want to hear it. I want to hear the defense of crystals.
Yeah, I'd love it.
I'd love a conversation about crystals.
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
I'll challenge anybody to if tea readings.
Yeah,
that they're BS.
Tell me about tea readings. I'm into it.
I'll listen.
And we're not going to come at you. I mean, we want to have a dialogue. I'm interested.
I might challenge a little.
Yeah, we might ask a couple of questions.
Couple of questions.
I think I'm all set on this. We're going to do an episode on talking to the dead and hopefully tie that in to our own personal story.
Yeah,
this one's going to come out closer to Halloween. We want to talk about Ouija boards. I think Ouija boards is the pinnacle of methods of contacting the dead because we've seen it happen.
Yeah. I think it's pretty baseline. I mean, it's a Hasbro game or Mattel or whatever. But I
think spirit boards go back way before that, though. I think they.
But I'm just saying, like,
a
Ouija board is.
Yeah.
You could buy it at Walmart for $12.99.
The witches on Witch Talk are going to Walmart.
100%. 100%. The lady in Arkansas has a Ouija board from Walmart. 100%. She's using her fucking pepper that she bought at a great value.
I was laughing. They showed the tea bag. It was a Lipton.
It was a Lipton.
Lipton tea bag.
Lipton's, man. You can't be doing tea readings with Lipton. I'm sorry. And if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.